There it is.
Hey,
all right.
Is it just me?
Who's just no, there's a bunch of people here, so you guys
okay.
you guys can't see it, but there's, I think there's like 15 of us here, so pretty cool. All right, so if you haven't not done so already, go ahead and mute yourself. That way I don't hear your dogs and your kids in the background and all that stuff. All right, cool. So basically, if you guys have a question, if there's any sort of questions that pop up throughout the whole call, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. So there should be a chat feature for you. If you have a question, just go ahead and click chat and then just type the number 1. That's all you have to do, is just type 1, and that'll let me know that you have a question, and then I'll just kind of go down the list in order. But we do have a topic to cover tonight. But before we get into that, I want anybody who, you don't have to type a 1 on this occasion, but anybody who has a win that they would like to share, something that happened that's went really well for them, you guys can go ahead and share that with the group. So any wins this week? There's got to be some out there. I'm gonna start calling on people if we don't get any. There's got to be some.
I went to the gym by myself and didn't die.
You went to the gym by yourself and didn't die. I know. Isn't that crazy? It's not that scary of a place after all.
It's pretty bad.
It'll get better. It'll get better. But yeah, exactly. And that's one of the biggest things, is overcoming like a big fear like that, right? And that's we'll start covering. We'll actually go over some of that stuff tonight. But yeah, I mean, going to the gym is a big fear for everybody. But any other wins? Any other wins out there?
I started tracking my water better.
Great. Yeah. What are you doing to help track your water?
I got me a 20-ounce cup, and I use my little stickers at work. And I put 5 little stickers on it, and every time I fill it up, I pull off a sticker so I know how many I have left. And I have to have all of those gone by the end of the day.
There you go. That's a heck of a process right there. That's awesome. Yeah, I have one of these things. I have no idea how many I drink throughout the day, but
well, I wasn't doing bottles of water, but I couldn't remember. I was writing it down, and that just wasn't working.
Yeah, it's if you actually have like that tab to actually pull off, that I can definitely see where that would be really useful. So who is this? Danny? Is that Danielle? You said you tried yoga for the first time? Who tried yoga? Anybody? Somebody? Who's Danny's iPhone? Anyways, Danielle. Okay, she said she tried yoga for the first time. Anybody else do yoga? No.
I do.
Oh, do you, Donna? Yeah. You go to the one over there off of Midlothian Turnpike, right?
Yeah, I do. I like the hot yoga.
The hot yoga. I can't do that stuff. I can't even imagine. They turn it up to like 100 degrees in there, right?
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's great. Sweat it all out.
All right, any last minute wins before we jump into our topic of the evening? Anything? No? All right, well, why don't we go ahead and jump in, guys? So I'm actually going to share my screen. So again, remember, if there's anybody who has a question as we go throughout, just remember, go ahead and put number 1 in the chat. That way I know that you have a question, and we can, we can answer those questions one by one as we get there. So I'm gonna go ahead and share screen here. So make sure everybody can kind of see what I'm seeing here. So one of this is our first humongous big community call. We tried it before, and before we got too big, but now we're a lot bigger. We got a lot more people in the community, so it makes more sense to do calls now. And this is our topic of communication, or topic of discussion tonight, is motivation, energy, mindset, confidence, kind of all that stuff we're going to be just kind of going through, because I have found that as people enter into this, journey of theirs, their health journey, weight loss journey, whatever it may be, a lot of times you see the motivation, it doesn't stay high all the time. And if you felt that before, I know you have, and it's a terrible feeling when you're like riding high, man. That adrenaline rush is high, and then it drops. And it happens to us all. And so definitely don't feel like you're alone if that has happened to you before. So you're definitely not alone. But pretty much this is something that I came across that was really interesting, and it's the motivation or energy curve. And pretty much it shows the balance of the highs and lows of any goal pursuit, right? So it acknowledges here, you can see that motivation is not constant. So basically over here, when you first get started, your motivation starts creeping up. You're like, oh my God, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait, I can't wait. And then something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen within the first probably month or so that's gonna make your motivation dip a little bit, whether you're not seeing results fast enough, or something in life happens and you just kind of knocks you off of your routine and your motivation kind of dips. Then Nick comes to the rescue and our motivation starts to creep back up. Or whatever happens, you're able to dig yourself out and you're able to kind of get your motivation going back up again. And this time it's going to get even higher than it was before. And you're like, man, I'm on a roll. And then boom, something else is going to happen again. Whether, again, you're not seeing results fast enough, or, oh my God, I'm gaining weight. What's going on? And your motivation is going to dip again. And this time it's going to hit a low, and it's going to be hard to get out of that, right? And some of us have already been there. We've already been on this journey and we've already felt this low before. But the cool part is that once you hit this low point, there's only up from here. And that's where the energy curve keeps going. And it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And the motivation goes up, right? So how do we deal with those lows whenever they come around, right? So there's a few things we're going to do. So one, we're going to check on your progress with multiple measurements, right? So don't use one measurement to determine your success, whether it is how much weight you're lifting or how much weight you're losing. Those are one thing. Let's look at the entire picture when it comes to determining our success, right? So for example, if your overall goal is weight loss, also use measurements like how's your energy level, how's your digestion, how's your sleep, how's your performance, etc., to measure your success. Because at the end of the day, all these things are going to contribute to your overall goal, right? Another thing too is exactly what we're doing tonight. We're talking to others, right? And chances are that you're not the only one dealing with the issue that's causing your motivation to dip. And pick others' brains, go into the community chat, find out, hey, who else is just kind of feeling crappy right now? Who else is just not feeling like they're on top of their game? Because I have conversations all week with you guys, right? And I get 3 or 4 messages from people who are kind of all in the same spot. And I'm like, man, you guys should be talking to each other to figure out, hey, how can we pick each other up? How can we kind of keep moving forward? Picking each other's brains, being like, hey, what do you do when you feel like this? Or what do you do when you're in this situation? How do you pull yourself out of this? That's why we have this community. And again, use that community group. So we got 2 more and then I'll take a break and I'll stop talking for a little bit. But another one is avoid half-finished goals, right? So seeing yourself consistently try and fail at something is a sure way to kill your motivation. So if you're consistently starting something brand new and then stopping halfway through, all you're doing is continuing to remind yourself that, oh, I can't ever finish anything. I'm not good enough at this, whatever. The motivation is not going to go up if you're continuing to start something and not finish it. So whenever you start something, always have the intention and the discipline to go to the end of it, right? So when you're starting something brand new, start taking on smaller tasks and smaller goals that you can reasonably finish. Complete them, and then your motivation will increase. So for example, if we're on a health journey, we're trying to lose, let's say 20 pounds, right? That's our overall goal. We're not going to lose 20 pounds by just making it happen. It's not just going to happen like that. We have to have smaller goals and smaller checkpoints along the way, because losing 20 pounds is going to take us a while. It's not going to happen really quickly. So if you are not seeing that quick success, your motivation is going to start to dip. And I know a lot of us have experienced that. Like, man, Nick said that we're going to start losing weight and we haven't started losing weight yet. Like, what's going on, right? Your motivation is starting to die down. Let's have smaller wins along the way so our motivation stays up. Let's be winning consistently. They're small goals, but we're consistently winning along the way. Okay. And then the last one here, to deal with these low points, is to become aware. Do not try to hide from the fact that your inspiration, your energy, and your motivation is low. Accept it, acknowledge it, and then attack it so that it can become better, right? So you might try to drown it out by focusing on other things, but it delays the inevitable. If you're feeling low and you're kind of just trying to forget about it and go, you know what, nope, fake it till you make it, put on a smile, whatever, that smile is going to break and you're going to crash and burn. Let's address it, acknowledge it, and then ask yourself, what can I do to change this? I hate feeling like this. I'm acknowledging that I'm feeling like this. So how can I move out of this? I hope that makes sense to everybody. So, like I said, I'm going to take a break for a quick second here. And I want just a couple people, if you felt like, if you're comfortable enough and you want to share and you felt like this recently, or maybe you felt like this in the past, just kind of share with the group. Where were you and how did you get out of it? What you don't have to go into like what caused your motivation to dip, but just talk about, hey, my motivation was low and here's some things that I did to get out of it. So a few people just maybe join in and just, talk about some of their strategies that helped them. Anybody? There's some people out there.
So this is Becky.
Hey, Becky. Talk to us. What's up, girl?
So you know that my motivation was low just because of a lot of
It's okay.
a lot of life happening, and to get to the exercises I was trying to do just a couple a day, but I kept seeing on the exercise list everything I didn't accomplish. And so that's what I thought about all day was, oh, I only finished 2 or 3 exercises. So it really helped me when we had the conversation and you change that to where all I'm seeing, I'm still doing the same thing, but it was a visual and kind of psychological thing where, okay, I've got 4 exercises and I can totally get these done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing anything left on the table. That's going to come back up tomorrow. So for me, it was just seeing that. And I didn't realize that about myself, that I was doing the activity, but it wasn't motivating me to continue because I kept seeing stuff left on the table.
Yeah.
So that
Totally.
that was really helpful.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to like those small wins, right? Like instead of focusing on a huge workout that you knew with your schedule and everything was just, it wasn't necessarily reasonable for you to commit to an hour 15-minute workout. So what do? We broke it down into like 20-minute workouts. That way you have those small wins and you don't feel like you're leaving something on the table. We're like you said, we're doing the exact same amount of work. It's just broken up into smaller, more attainable goals. That way the motivation increased. So that's awesome, Becky. Absolutely. So anything else? Anybody dealt with low motivation and had some strategies or had some help to get out of it?
I think in general, we tend to want to beat ourselves up. I mean, and that is just a frame of mind, especially when you're not feeling good about yourself. You're your own worst enemy, right? And changing your mindset as much as you can, and it takes time. It's a habit kind of thing to spend time celebrating your wins. Like, if you're only getting 5 of the 10 exercises done, and it's hard to look at those ones that were left on the table, it's smart to change the goal for sure. But if you can't change the goal for whatever reason, change your mindset about the fact that you look at your day and go, man, I hardly had any time today and I got half of my workout in today. I'm going to pat myself on the back for getting that done. At least I didn't not do it at all. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's all it takes, is just a change of mindset about how we look at ourselves and give ourselves a little bit of congratulations and a little bit of grace, because life is hard. And if you can get something done, if you get 1% better done than you did the day before, that's a win in my book. So just something to consider when you're starting to have those low points, to turn it around in your mind, how you look at it, if you can.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna add on that with Alicia because motivation is definitely attached to my emotions. So I'm going through a low phase, but I try to make the gym nowadays as a habit. You know, as Nick knows, I have a habit of going to Starbucks. And going to the gym nowadays is the same thing. It's like every Tuesday, if I don't go, something on my days is missing, even if I'm not feeling quite in the mood to go to the gym. But every time I go there, I still play some good ass songs and kind of put myself in the vibe, but try to make a habit out of it because you're not always going to have motivation because, you know, life is hard. Sometimes we got shit going on. So if you make that as something, you know, specific to a day or you got to do it, it kind of makes it easier, even if you don't want to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. And just kind of to cover both of those things, like Alicia was saying, right? Like, you know, change your mindset around it. Let's have some more positive self-talk in here as opposed to, and I talk to all you guys about this, is instead of focusing so much on our losses, like let's focus equally on our wins. And what are we doing well? It's hard to focus on that, but that's a key to keeping the motivation high, is looking at the bigger picture and not focusing only on what's going badly, but focusing on what's going well. And like Amanda said, right? Let's focus on making that habit. And okay, no matter what happens, I'm going to the gym on Tuesday because that's my gym day, you know, or whatever. Or you know, get into those habitual rituals that are going to make us feel good and make us, you know, make us our energy and our motivation high. So anybody else want to share? Shante, if you're okay with it, do you want to talk a little bit about kind of your journey, if you're okay with it? I look at you, I know you're embarrassed.
I knew you were gonna call me.
You don't have to go into details, but I think it's important because it was such a powerful shift that happened with you. So I think it's important, if you're okay with it, to
So
just
I
kind of
don't
talk a little bit
mind
on it.
sharing what happened. I just don't know the reason why I shifted after. I don't know what happened. I just
Okay.
don't. I
Yeah.
don't know
I think it's good to
why
just
I
still
was just
share
like, why I just got over it so fast and just started going ham. But you were talking about it earlier about having that crash.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what happened. I had a complete breakdown. Just to be transparent, like I had just got a brand new puppy and everything just flipped. My whole life changed. And I was just like, I have no time. I got him at 9 weeks. So he was like crazy. I wasn't getting any sleep. I was probably getting maybe 4 hours of sleep a day. And then it was a lot. Puppy training is a lot. And then I have work, I have my business, life. Everybody has life going on. But it was really hard I was getting very overwhelmed. And it was getting hard to manage my time as far as my priorities. So at that moment, I wasn't a priority anymore. It was all about my puppy. It was all about my business. It was all about those are my priorities, basically. And I was pretty much last on my priority list. So I was just telling Nick, like, look, I'm done. I'm burnt out. I have nothing else to give. I just want to go to sleep. I just wanted to sleep. I wanted to sleep for days. So that happened for I think it probably took about a month for me to get through that hurdle. But I just had to be transparent with Nick, tell him what was going on. And he didn't let me quit. But I mean, my motivation was gone. It was completely gone. I didn't think there was any coming back. So I don't really know what the click was. I think the click kind of was when Nick, you told me that I don't have to do all of my workouts all in that 1 hour and 15 minutes like I was doing before I got the puppy, that I could break it down in increments, 20 minutes during my break or 20 minutes the next day. But then I didn't like that either because I wanted to get it all done at one time. It was like, I don't want to keep thinking about, oh shoot, I gotta go work out. And I didn't get a chance to work out. So I tried to focus on my wins at that time were making sure I at least got my steps in, at least get up and walk around. If I don't work out, at least get up, move, because I work from home, I sit down all day. And I guess the training got to a point where it progressed and I didn't feel guilty about leaving my puppy by himself for an hour. So then that first day, leaving him, trying to get my workout in for an hour. Honestly, I brought my puppy with me to the gym and I wasn't supposed to the first like couple times. And I was like, okay, maybe if I just bring him, he'll be okay because he needs to be watched. Brought him, he cried the entire hour. And I was just like, whatever. So then it was just progress. Progress happened with the training. And once I was able to leave him at home by himself, then I could have that time to myself to work out. Because even when I was working out and he was there, I wasn't even focused on my workout. I could not focus on me. I could not focus on my technique, my form, all of that. It was just like a check off the list. That's all I was doing. So to me, it wasn't even like a real workout. It was kind of just like, oh, I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it. But I didn't really do it. But I did it. It just wasn't the best workout, basically. So now I'm able to talk to Nick. I've crate trained the puppy so I can leave him and work out in peace. My phone fell. Leave and work out in peace. And it was a hurdle, but it was something that I got through. It was something that I overcame and I'm still here. Yeah.
And that's going to happen in life with all of us. And I appreciate you sharing. I didn't mean to call you out, but I knew that was a something that had happened. And like you said, you hit that all-time low of like, my motivation is gone. And you have to figure out, okay, well, I know that I have this goal and I still have that goal. So life is going to happen. And you have to figure out, no matter what happens in life, how do we still stay with that goal in the forefront of our mind? So it's hard to do that a lot. But when something like that happens, you have to figure out, okay, well, I got this new puppy. How do I make it work? I'm going to crate train him. I'm going to take him with me. I'm going to do something because I can't forget about myself. Like you said, I was putting myself last. Like that's the last thing you want to do, because then you're going to start getting resentful. Your motivation is going to die even more. So by putting yourself first again, your motivation went back to the top. And now you're like, doing awesome, especially, considering that we were at the all-time low. And now we're doing great things. So I'm excited about that.
Thank you.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys sharing. And yeah, so we'll move on kind of to our next little topic here. And let me share my screen again. Again, if there's any questions or anything throughout, or if anybody wants to share anything at all, just go ahead and drop a number 1 into the chat, and that'll let me know that you've got something you want to ask or share. But anyways, I hope everybody can kind of see my screen here, because we're going to start doing a new thing that I'm really excited about that's going to help me keep really good tabs on how you guys are feeling. Because the last thing I want is for you guys to not be feeling the best, your motivation be low, and I don't know about it. And it's not always easy to message me or message Alicia or somebody and say, hey, I'm just not doing great, and here's why. That's not always the easiest thing in the world. So what we're going to start doing is a green, red, yellow policy. Pretty much green means things have never been better. I am strong, motivated, and I am excited to be on this journey. Like I am feeling awesome, right? Then yellow status is going to be, I'm starting to slip a little bit. My motivation's not where it was or not where it can be, right? I don't really feel like working out, or I'm getting really busy and stressed, and I don't feel like I can fit my workout in. It's starting to become overwhelming, right? I'm kind of having a hard time eating consistently. I don't hit my nutrition goals as much as I need to, or at all. I'm worried about the future. I need help. That is yellow status. Red status is I am down bad. Like I am not motivated and I am about to quit. I have not hit any of my nutrition goals. I haven't even thought about working out. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. I'm stressed beyond belief and I am going to perish. That is red status. That is like that is like bad off right there. Okay. So basically, here we go. This is something all of us are going to start doing. I'm going to text Nick with my motivation status each week along with my check-in. So when you complete your check-in, whether it's on Mondays or Fridays, either one of those, those are our 2 days. If your check-in's on a Monday, you're going to submit your check-in and then you're going to text me green, or you're going to text me yellow, whatever. Hopefully it's not red. If that happens though, you know, no bad. You need to close some tabs for my OCD. But yeah, so with your check-in, it's going to be one of those 3 things. Also, if I am in the yellow stage, I must text Nick the word yellow, that's all, before it turns to red status. So instead of coming to me and saying, hey, Nick, I'm not feeling great and here's why, all you have to do is text me the word yellow. And that just tells me that, hey, we've got to work on something. Instead of you having to go through everything. If you're in, you know, doing something and you're just not feeling the best, again, yellow gets the job done. That lets me know what's going on. Great, good, okay. And then again, I promise over here to do everything I can with Nick's advice to get to green status. We want everybody in green, all right? So if you feel like, you know what, if you can honestly look back and tell yourself I'm not in green status, then text me the word yellow. That's it. And we will work on getting you to green. Everybody's good with that? Okay. So next thing is going to be motivation, making it work for you. We've talked about this before, okay, with some people. Before we move on though, what questions do you guys have about the yellow, green, red? You can ask in the chat or just unmute yourself, whatever, before we move on. Questions, concerns, like it, don't like it, hate it? How we feel?
I feel like sometimes I'm between green and yellow. Like I'm not completely where I want to be, but at the same time, I don't feel like I need to reach out and get a whole lot of help.
Okay. Yeah, I totally get that. So if you're kind of in between stages, you know, I guess it's better to reach out than to not reach out, you know. If you feel like there's something that could be tightened up, you're like, okay, well, I know I'm not at green, but I'm not quite at yellow either. Like maybe just say, hey, Nick, I'm not at green right now. Don't really know what to do. Don't really know what I need to do to get to green, but I just know that I'm not there. That's all you got to say. And we'll start addressing the problem. Okay, well, why don't you feel that way? What's specifically not working right now? How can we tune up and make sure you're good to go? Where can we tighten a few screws to make sure we get back to green? So if you're anything but green, tell me. And you're submitting that each week along with your check-in, whether it's green, yellow, or red. And then throughout the week, if something happens to you and you're like, and you just kind of do a self-assessment and you just go, man, I'm not green right now, you text me yellow. If it's a Wednesday and it's not even a check-in day and you're just like, man, I'm feeling crappy, yellow, boom, we fix it right there. Instead of us having to wait until check-in day to address it, we address it right now so that it's fixed right now instead of us having to wait a whole week. Good? Any more questions? Like it? Okay. I think that's going to be a lot better than me hearing from you and you're like, Nick, I'm red status and I didn't even know you were yellow, but you just hit me with I'm at red and I'm like, oh no. But this will kind of help me keep tabs on things. So anyways, I have the next thing we're going to talk about is making habits, right? And I've used this analogy with some of you before, but something we're trying to do here is to create habits when it comes to eating and exercising, right? So our goal, like when you guys were again, if you've heard this again, I'm sorry, but when you were a kid, right, like your parents would come to you and they would tell you, go brush your teeth. And you're like, I don't really want to brush my teeth. That's stupid. And they'd be like, no, brush your teeth. And then over time, you guys would have the argument, I don't want to brush my teeth, go brush your teeth. Eventually, you got to a point where you started brushing your teeth every single day and you don't even think about it anymore. So that is our goal right now when it comes to eating and exercising, is to make it just like brushing your teeth, where it's something that you don't even think about doing. It's just that habit. So eventually it's going to become a habit. Now you actually start to look forward to it, right? Just like brushing your teeth. Oh, if I brush my teeth, I know my breath is going to smell better. It's signaling the start or the end of a day, right? So exercise and eating right are going to become just like that, where, okay, well, exercising, it signifies me, getting better and doing better things. Just like brushing your teeth, it's something along those lines. So another thing too, right? Habits, habit creation, right? So we want habits that we don't want to do right now. We want them to become seamless. So you'll tend to be accountable until the habit sticks and your goal just happens naturally. So don't focus on the goal and how long it's going to take to get there and how close or how far you are from it. Get good at the habits that are necessary to make that goal happen. So I hope that makes sense. So for example, if we're trying to lose 20 pounds, don't focus on the 20 pounds weight loss, focus on the eating part. Focus on exercising consistently. Get really, really, really good at eating, exercising, and sleeping, because those are the things that are going to make you lose 20 pounds. If all you're focused on is the 20 pounds, you're never going to get there, because you're going to constantly fall off and things are going to happen. But if you focus on getting good at the things that are going to make that happen, it will happen. I hope that makes sense. Okay. I'm going to take a break. Questions, concerns, anything? Alicia, anybody?
I
Want to
actually,
join in?
yeah, I just wanted to say that there's something, I mean, I've been on a weight loss journey my entire life, to the point where I decided I needed to really dig down into the science of weight loss and nutrition and exercise, because I just like to learn stuff. And the one thing that I always come back to is motivation is fickle. And I have a habit of working out, but motivation is, and there are days where I wake up and I go, I do not feel like doing this. If you take action regardless of motivation, the success you feel will drive your motivation. But if you rely on motivation to make the action happen, you're setting yourself up for failure every single time. Okay, so always think about motivation is not first, action is first. And that's really where I always have to come back to when I'm having those days. Action is first.
God, I could not have said that any better, Alicia. That is awesome. Exactly. You're exactly right. Because like you said, there's going to be days and there's going to be points in your life when motivation is at an all-time low. But if that's the only thing you're relying on to keep you going, you're setting yourself up for failure, just like you said, right? And something that I've actually shared with a few of you guys is that if you prove to yourself that you're able to do the things when your motivation is low and when times are bad. So if you're bad off and you're just not feeling it, but you're still able to get the stuff done and you're still able to prepare your meals and you're still able to exercise pretty consistently, you're proving to yourself that when times get good again, you're going to be even better. And then when times inevitably get bad again, because they're going to get bad again, well, you've already shown yourself that you're able to do it when times are bad. So there's no excuse to not do it in the future when times get bad again. So by locking down, coming into, just realization that, hey, times are bad right now, but if I do the stuff right now, I'm setting myself up for success in the future. And that's why one of the reasons I put that thing in our group chat the other day, which is you can either choose the easy way now and suffer later, or choose the hard stuff now and be really successful later. So
yeah, just one more point on that. How many times have you woken up and gone, I don't feel like doing this, but you go and you do it and you're so happy you did afterwards. That's the feeling you want to hang on to. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Let that feeling drive your future decisions and stuff. Is like, oh my, and the same thing with eating. When you eat good stuff and you eat food that is whole foods, and it makes you feel really good because you're like, wow, I'm energized and I don't feel sloppy, I don't feel greasy, I feel good. Use that feeling to drive your future eating decisions. Just like when you do something and you meal prep or you work out, that feeling of accomplishment, let that feeling drive your future decisions. Okay. And Lauren, you dropped a 1 in the chat, so what's up, girl?
I have a weird, stupid question. So
Those
I got
don't
really
exist.
into The meal prep and stuff, but as you're well aware, I eat the same thing every day for every meal.
Mhm.
And now I've kind of created a fear that if I eat something else, it's going to hurt me and my progress.
Eat something else as far as like types of food you're worried
Yeah,
about?
I literally eat oatmeal or eggs in the morning and chicken and whatever and tuna fish every day. And now I'm afraid to eat anything else.
So what do you think is going to happen if you eat something else?
I don't know. I'm scared. I
What are you
don't want
scared
to find
of?
out.
What are you scared of happening?
Just backtracking on my progress.
Meaning like gaining weight?
Yes.
So that's why the key to all this, right? And this is everybody pretty much gets a similar layout, if you will, is we focus on the calories, right? Because at the end of the day, calories are king. So if you're eating 100 calories of chicken, or if you're eating 100 calories of steak, calories rule. It doesn't matter if it's where it's coming from. Okay. So if you're eating over your calories, you're going to gain weight. It doesn't matter where it comes from. If it comes from beef, if it comes from steak, if it comes from chicken, if it comes from an egg white, which is probably the most leanest thing out there in the world, right? If you're overeating on calories, but it comes from healthy food, you're going to gain weight. But if you stick with your goals and you've got a number and you've got okay, here's my calorie number for the day. I know what this is. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, really, where those calories come from. As long as you're at that point, you're going to be fine.
Okay.
And I know it's scary because you're like, wow, well, this is what I've done to get to this point. So if I deviate from this, well, am I going to backtrack? No. That's why I have numbers for you. That's why I don't tell anybody what foods to eat, because that creates the thing in your mind of, well, Nick told me that I have to eat these foods, so these must be the foods that help me lose weight. No. The thing that helped you lose weight, Lauren, was the protein number and the calorie number. So as long as you stick with those things, it doesn't matter where the source is. As long as you're hitting those numbers, you will be fine.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does. It's just it's all in my head. I know this,
Okay.
but
So here's what I want you to do. Okay. One meal, start with one meal, change it up slightly. Instead of chicken, have pork. Instead of oatmeal in the morning, have pancakes, have Kodiak cakes.
yes.
Yeah, have that instead of oatmeal. All right.
Yeah.
And basically prove to yourself one small meal at a time that, hey, these small changes are really not gonna make any difference. As long as I'm hitting my numbers, I'm good.
Okay.
I found a really great recipe for protein dense pancakes that uses rolled oats and protein powder and egg whites and almond milk and blueberries and cinnamon, and there's no sugar in it. And my kids like it, which is just unheard of. So if you'd like me to share that one with you, I'm happy to.
Yes, please.
And you can easily make like a blueberry compote to put on it. All you do is you heat some blueberries in a saucepan with a little bit of water, and it kind of melts them down and it makes them into a syrup, and you're not adding any sugar.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey guys, this is Donna. A couple of things. I had the same fear of eating, and I was eating so little, the same thing over and over again, and so little. And until like Nick helped to educate me a little bit, I'm now eating like crazy. It's hard for me to even eat as much as I need to meet my numbers. And I'm not gaining weight. It's like, it was the biggest freedom that I've ever been given before. So just, just trust the process and try different foods, because I know you can get bored and then you'll fall into a slump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cause if you're constantly eating the same foods and you're like, okay, well, this is what I need to eat to stay at this weight level, then yeah, you'll just kind of get in that like routine, and then you'll start to be scared of going out to eat or doing these things when, again, calories are king. So if you're at the calorie mark and you're feeling good, it doesn't really matter where you're coming from. So thanks for sharing all that, guys. So, all right, cool. Anybody else got any last things? I've got like one more little point and then we'll move on. Good. All right, cool. So the last thing here now that everybody's motivation is super high, we're actually going to be running a, hang on, I got to chat. Let's see. Okay, never mind. Now that everybody's motivation is super high, we're running a special in June for any referrals. So of course, these community calls are awesome, guys, and we want our community to keep growing. Okay, so something we're going to be doing going forward and in June is, if you can read it here, guys, June special, you guys are going to get a $100 gift card to any restaurant of your choice for each referral you send to our program. If this person becomes a client, you will both receive $100 off of your next payment. Now, if you paid in full, you'll get $100 back to you. So you'll get a refund of $100. Okay. So if you refer anybody, regardless of if they sign up, you get a $100 gift card to your restaurant. And then if they sign up, you get an extra $100 back in your pocket. So it's a no-brainer to bring more people in. Let's expand this community. Let's get the word out, and let's start helping more people, like Donna said, find that freedom of knowing that, hey, I can eat more and I can love my body and I can find a sustainable way to lose weight and do it in the long term. So also, this allows me to spend more time helping you guys instead of me having to go search for more clients. So I'm grinding all day out here, guys, trying to bring more people into our community. You guys see all my Facebook posts and you guys see all that stuff. That's because I want this community to grow. But you guys can help me out with that so that I don't have to spend as much time doing that. I can spend more time with you guys. So that's a special we're running this June. So just keep that in mind when you're out there talking to your friends and stuff, is to bring people in and we'll help them out. So it helps you guys out too. So before we log off, because that's my last point here, before we log off, is there anything that anybody else wanted to share, wanted to say, any more questions before I let you guys head out for the evening? Anything? Yes, Lauren.
How do we make the referral?
You literally just text me or just say, hey, I have this person and they're interested or whatever, or you can just like basically have them message me. You can give them my phone number or give them my Facebook or whatever,
Okay.
and just kind of introduce us that way. If you want to set up a group chat or whatever, you know. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Hey, Nick.
Yes, Rachel.
So, since like unconditionally with my food intake, since I'm like predominantly plant-based and I'm in my van like 11 hours a day, I have been doing a lot of, I guess, testing out these meal prep services. And I finally found one that it's a small business. It's all like, it's insane, but but it's called Springly.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's, I mean, like tonight I'm eating a zucchini noodle pesto pasta with Italian garbanzo bean patties, and it's 479 calories, 17 grams of protein.
Heck yeah. That's awesome
And
for a pure like
like,
full vegan meal. That's awesome.
yeah. So, and Andrew is eating the there's a lot of words. And anyways, his is 603 calories with 21 grams of protein.
Okay. Heck yeah.
So I'm hoping that one, I get to help out another small business, but two, my meals are planned for the next, like at least my lunches and stuff are planned for like the next 6 days.
Yeah.
Like everything's under 700 calories, but at least anywhere between 10 to 20 some grams of protein.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, because I know
And
you had tried with a bunch of different meal prep services, right?
yeah, and they were gross. But this is like, I think this might be a winner chicken dinner minus
Cool.
the chicken.
Got
So
gotcha. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
yeah, taking the oats out has really helped too.
Has it?
Yes, like
Good.
it's ridiculous how taking oats out has changed. Just doing my shake with the spinach and the plant-based protein powder and stuff has really,
yeah.
really helped me out. Yeah, guys, I don't eat or do dairy. And when I do, it's bad. So if anybody else is doing plant-based and wants to reach out, because I feel like I'm the only one that's doing plant-based in the entire group. So, but if anybody's interested, I can help you out because
I
I'm
know,
learning a lot.
I like
I know
plant-based
Shantae is
protein.
Shantae's
Yeah.
pretty vegetarian.
Yeah. So, but this, yeah, I'm super stoked to try out with this company because everything is like super fresh and they tell you like what order to eat them in so they don't go bad. And like they even tell you that it's like it's soy free and no refined sugar and gluten free and all that crazy stuff. It's
That's
pretty cool.
awesome. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you found that. I'm glad that we figured out the oats thing too, because it's crazy because oats are like one of the healthiest foods on the planet. But if it doesn't work for you, then it ain't healthy. So I'm
Yeah,
super happy that we kind of
yeah,
figured that out.
yeah, my bloating has definitely like come down tremendously since we took out the oats.
Good. Yeah, awesome. All right, well, guys, just a quick reminder to always text me if you are in yellow status or red status or wherever you are, green status. Keep me updated. Never, ever go throughout the week and don't tell me how things are going. Always let me know what's up, red, green, yellow, whatever. And I think we'll be good to go in the future. So any last minute questions, comments, concerns, yippies? What are we looking forward to this week? Anybody? Anything going on? I'm going to the river this weekend, so I'm hype about that. Anybody else got any big plans? No? Just hanging out? It's supposed to be fun or good weather this weekend. So, all
I
right.
think I'm heading to North Carolina and getting on the water.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I'm hoping to do.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing some water myself. It's been too long. So,
It's gonna be a hot one.
Yeah, Katie said she's got a crazy weekend over there. So yeah, I know most of us do too. So, all right, guys. Well, this was awesome. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. Hope you guys were able to kind of, I don't know if you guys can see everybody on here or know that if there's anybody here, but there was like 20 of us at one time. So that was awesome. Really good. Glad you guys came on and got to experience this and then get to know some people and get some good value out of it. So remember, June special, we'll go ahead and start it now, whatever. So from now until the end of June, if you refer anybody, you get $100 to your favorite restaurant. If they sign up as a client, $100 more right back in your pocket. So keep that in mind, get some people in here. We'll have a lot of fun and we'll keep growing. So have a great night, everybody. And if you need anything else, you can message me privately and we'll take care of it. So awesome job. I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.